Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm super excited to have you back. I'm Nathan Payne, and today we're going to be talking about how much do sellers pay real estate agents in commission fees and why that's important to know. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how much real estate agents make and how much sellers are willing to pay real estate agents. You'll also learn how much sellers are willing to pay agents that list their home or how much they're willing to pay buyer's agents. Why do sellers use agents to represent them and list their homes? If agents get paid too much money for the work they do, and how to get discounts on the commissions agents are going to charge you for listing their home and from buyer's agents. All right, so we're going to talk right now, guys, about how much real estate agents make. It's very flexible and it's negotiable. I mean, if a real estate agent says, hey, I charge 3%, you say, I'd love to work with you, but I can only do 2.5% for you listing my home. Do you think they're really going to turn that down? Probably not, but maybe some agents will. But this is how it usually works. When you list your home with a real estate agent, you can pay them, the going rate is 3% for a listing agent, and then a 3% commission is what they get, the going rate for buyer's agents. So really, when you want to sell your house and you go the traditional route of listing it with a real estate agent and having a real estate agent bring the buyer, you're looking at about 6% commission, okay? Now that can be a lot to some people. I mean, if you have $1 million house, 6% of that is a ton, and even if $500,000 or whatever, but that is the rate right now, and that's how you would pay agents. That's how agents get paid, by commission. So why the heck would someone want to list their home with a real estate agent and pay all that money to have them list it? Well, there's tons of benefits to working with a real estate agent. Number one is you don't have to deal with all the showings, you don't have to deal with all the people calling. I mean, if you've ever listed your house for sale by owner, you'll see that you get a bunch of jokesters, a bunch of people calling that aren't qualified. A real estate agent deals with all that, okay? They set up all the walkthroughs, the showings. So that is one of the greatest benefits of having a real estate agent is your time and just making sure that they can negotiate and filter through the people that are a waste of time. So having a real estate agent as a listing agent is super beneficial for your time, to save you time and energy and not have to worry about dealing with all those jokesters. Another reason why dealing with a real estate agent that's going to list your property is beneficial is they deal with all the paperwork. You might not know how to do the paperwork. And I've heard that the paperwork's not that big of a deal. But for me, when I'm selling one of my biggest assets, one of my biggest purchases that I've made, and I want to make sure I'm doing it, we're selling it the right way, you want to have a professional that's going to deal with the paperwork. So make sure you're not doing anything wrong. So having a professional real estate agent in your corner is super important to make sure that the paperwork is done right. Another benefit of working with a real estate agent is they're going to put your property in front of more people than you could do it yourself. So if you're just going to do it yourself and do it for sale by owner, the chances of everyone seeing that deal on Zillow or for sale by owner sites, it's pretty slim. But if you put that property on the MLS through the agent on the multiple listing service, everybody's going to see it. I'm going to see it. The other agents will see it. Everyone, it's just going to get maximum exposure. It goes across all platforms, even like the ones like Zillow and Redfin. What they do is they take all the listings from each MLS, depending on the state, and then they blast it all out. That is why you want to work with a real estate agent, is because you get maximum exposure on your property. You're going to get the most offers that way. And what does that mean? More offers means a higher price. So if you want to get the most money for your house, you got to list it. And guys, I know this because I deal with a lot of properties that are off market, and I tell sellers all the time, I say, hey, are you sure you don't want to list this? You're going to make more money. I'm upfront, honest, as always, transparent, and say, you should list this. And most of the time when they don't want to list the property and they want a cash offer is because they don't want it to deal with the hassle. Listing it can be a hassle because people are going to walk through your house, they're going to look at your stuff, be in your closet, be in all your stuff. When you sell a house for cash, it's easy, quick, simple, and you don't have a bunch of showings. But that is one of the main reasons why people list. They get the most money for it, get the most exposure, most eyes on the property. Do real estate agents really make too much money? Well, I mean, it really depends what you think. A lot of people are like, they don't see the value in real estate agents because they can sell the deal themselves, they can do for sale by owner. But the value of a real estate agent, in my opinion, is when it's in the seller's market, when there's low inventory, having a real estate agent for me isn't as valuable as it is when it's in a buyer's market, when there's tons of properties on the market and you really need to get your house sold and there's just not a lot of buyers. That is why, having a real estate agent can be super helpful. And do they make too much money? I mean, that's really your opinion. I believe that if this is one of the most expensive assets that you have that you're trying to sell, you want to get a professional to help you make sure you're selling the house for the right amount. So it's up to you. I don't think real estate agents get paid that much. I mean, it really depends on what kind of market you're in. If it's in a seller's market, then yeah, real estate agents really don't do too much work because anybody could sell the house. But right now, with the way things are, yeah, they're probably going to get what they're working for just because it's harder to sell properties. Before I move on to the next point, guys, I want to ask you for a favor, something that would really help me out. Please comment below because I want to hear from you. I really want to know who's watching these videos and I want to be able to interact with you. I read all the comments I get, I respond because I want to be able to learn from you guys. I mean, that's how I am. I want to interact and I want to help you guys succeed. So please comment below, say what's up, leave a little question. Tell me what you think about working with real estate agents, or even if you are a real estate agent. Comment below and let's chat. There's a lot of benefits to paying more money and listing with a real estate agent instead of just doing it for sale by owner or going with these low listing services like Homey or these flat rate places. The benefits of paying more is if you're working with a real estate agent that's going to make 3% or 6% commission, their drive to get you the most money, it's mutually beneficial. They're going to work as hard as they can to get you the most money for your property because they want to make their commission. Most real estate agents sell like 1 to 2 properties a year. So if you're working with one that doesn't sell a lot, this is their chance to make a living. This is their chance to make the money that they need this year. So they're going to be really driven to get you a high price and work hard. Or at least they should. It really depends on the real estate agent you're working with. But if you want to pay more, if you want to work with a real estate agent and you're going to pay more, most of the time it's beneficial for both parties because they're both trying to work hard to make that as much as they can. The benefits of paying less for a real estate agent are basically that you just don't have to pay that much, and it depends again on the market you're in. In a seller's market, if you can list the property with a flat fee listing service, Homey or any of these other ones that are out there, then you pay like what, $1,500, $2,000 instead of $20,000 to list a property that's going to sell quick anyway because the market is in favor of sellers and there's less inventory. So it really depends what kind of market you're in. I wouldn't want to list my house in a buyer's market on a flat fee listing service because you're just going to just sit there and wait and hope someone makes an offer. What I got to tell you guys is it really just depends. If you pay less, it really depends on the market you're in. But again, having a real estate agent in your corner is super important in my opinion. I'm not even a real estate agent, but I believe it is helpful to have a professional in anything you do giving you advice. So how do you negotiate a discount with a real estate agent, even one that wants to get their 3% commission? Well, you really can negotiate the listing agent. You can negotiate their fee, but really you can't really negotiate with the buyer's commission because the buyer's agent is going to bring a buyer if he feels their buyer to your house if they feel like they're getting compensated. Now, let's say you're only willing to pay 2% to the buyer's agent and everybody else in the area is willing to pay 3%. Well, that buyer's agent that only does 1 or 2 deals a year, he's probably not going to, even though he should, he's probably not going to show your house to his buyers that he has because he wants to make as much commission as he can. So if you feel like you can negotiate on the end of the buyer's agent's commission, you usually can't. Again, it depends on the market you're in, if you're in a seller's or buyer's market, but usually I don't skimp on the commission of the buyer's agent because they're the one that are bringing the buyers, they're bringing the value. Now, when it comes down to a seller's agent, you can negotiate for sure. An agent is going to want to list your house 100%. I mean, every time, whether it's a seller or buyer's market, they want to list your home. So what you can say is look, this is how you can negotiate. You can say, hey, look, I'm talking to a lot of different agents. I really like you, but I'm really trying to keep as much money in my pocket as possible. I'd like to work with you, but what's the best deal you could give me on your commission? I know you asked for 3%. I don't mind paying 3% if that's the best you can do, but I'm asking you for help. I'm asking you for a discount. What can you do for me? And if they're like, oh, I can't go under 3%, you could say, okay, well, hey, no, I appreciate you saying that. If that's where you're sticking, that's fine. I'm just, I'm going to have to look at somewhere else. I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of buddies that have their license, so I'm just going to check it out. And then it's a negotiation. You're coming from from a place where you don't need them, all right? There's so many real estate agents, you don't need to just be stuck to one. You can say, hey, look, I'm trying to get a little bit of a deal. I'm not trying to get you down to 0.5% or 1%. Just give me something. And then you can negotiate it that way. But if you are not needy, if you're just like, hey, look, I got a lot of options here, that way you can, be in a place of power instead of a place of like necessity or like, you're needy. So that is how I would negotiate your commission with the agent. I have a free giveaway for you. If you want to work with real estate agents, if you're an investor and you want to learn how to make money by working with real estate agents, check out my mind map. I lay out the whole process of how to make offers on the MLS and negotiate with agents.